Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm Rathnakumar. Hope you had a good understanding about what product management or the Agile methodology and the Scrum over the last few videos. I think this video I'm going to jump onto another framework called Kanban. People call it differently. Some people call it Kanban, some would call it Kanban. So it completely depends on how you want to call it. But jumping onto the fact about it. Kanban is another way of executing the agile methodology, like I was telling to you about. But there's a major difference between a Kanban and Scrum model that we talked about. The major difference between these two is Kanban is not time bound. Okay, which is one of the major philosophies behind a Scrum model, where we put them into a time capsule saying it has to be done within 2 weeks, it has to be done within 4 weeks. That sort of time band doesn't work on Kanban. And Kanban has pretty much a very similar sort of execution methodology. There is always the backlog, like how you see it here. There's always a backlog, there is always in process, there is always completed, and the flow sort of remains the same. But the major difference between a Scrum and a Kanban is the Kanban doesn't have a time band, and there's a specific reason behind it as well. Like I said, Kanban is specifically adopted in executions where time is not the most important attribute. Especially, let's say you're in customer success, or you are in a specific process or development process where time band may not be the most viable way of operating it. Let's say you're in a data science team. You're not in the development team, you're in the data science team, where you're building models. The moment you start building data models, it is tough to be able to just bucket them into time band, because data models are very sensitive. You can never be absolutely sure saying a specific model is going to work. There's a lot of iterations and reiterations has to be done into to a model for them to be able to be precise, saying okay, this model is viable, this model is not viable. So based on those because of these reasons, this is highly sought out for teams like data science. They are designed where there are no time bound, saying okay, you have to be able to complete it within this speculated time. It's just more of a process than the process in terms of execution than a very programmed way of executing, like how a development team would work. So especially for, like I was telling to you, especially those sort of teams will actually adopt a Kanban methodology, even though if they're working on Agile. So like I said, Agile is the lean way of approaching a product development. Inside Agile, there are two different frameworks that people people go out to. One is the Scrum, the other one is the Kanban. Scrum is where you execute a specific limited amount of tickets, but in a time-bound manner, saying everything has to be done within this specific interval of time. While in a Kanban, you follow the same process in terms of execution without a time band. So that's the major difference. Hope it sort of clarifies, what a Scrum is, what an Agile is, and what a Kanban is. And in the next video, we'll see what a Waterfall methodology. It's pretty interesting. I'll share about it more in the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.